Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Raiders of the Lost Flicks Live. I'm your host, Groovinator, a.k.a. Adam, of raidersofthelostflicks.com. Remember, if it's a bad movie, we want to know about it. And, of course, we're taking time out from our busy holidays to talk to you about The Expanse, the show that we love. And I am here with my co-hosts, Nick and Tam from the World Class Bullshitters.
Merry goddamn Christmas.
And the professor himself, Flair X.
Merry fucking Christmas and fuck y'all.
Merry flipping Christmas to all of you.
Oh my God.
Thank you so much for being here. I know I said I wasn't going to do a lot of shows this week, but I do want to do these because, you know, there's that little window when these things come out, and we want to let you know about them as soon as they're live. And man, was this an explosive episode. Just going to kind of go around the room, initial reactions. I'll do mine last. Nick, what did you think of this episode? And I'm going to try to pronounce this the proper way. Guagamela? I think it was
Guagamela.
Guagamela. Okay, Guagamela is actually it's actually a battle.
Guagamela.
Guagamela. Okay. See, I told you I butcher names. So I'm good for that.
It's a battle between the Persian Empire and Alexander the Great.
Did you know that already, or did
I looked it up? Actually, I did look it up because I wanted to know what that name came. Because I was trying to figure out how to pronounce it, and then I came across the wiki definition.
Nick, my minor is in Hellenic Studies, which covers both Greek and Roman time periods, which includes the Hellenic period of Alexander the Great.
And that's why we call this asshole the professor. All right?
I was watching the after show, and they said what the name meant, and I was wondering how did you figure it out? So
yeah, I didn't get a chance to catch the after show because I've been that damn busy. But
it was one of the major battles in the rise of Alexander the Great in taking over the Persian Empire. That's the context.
Okay.
Right on.
That makes sense. But yeah, initial thoughts. I mean, I thought this episode was amazing just because of like this is like the peak of, you know, this is a turning point of the season, hopefully, or at least, you know, where things kind of happen. And I mean, everything hit at once, man, and it was
right.
It was so much to handle, and like you have to like, and you definitely see the Rocinante crew, like they're divided up and they can't do shit.
That's the only frustrating thing, man. Is that it's the Rosie. they're split up right now. There's no Rosie in this episode.
Yeah. They're entirely split up, and like everything. Like I literally thought the ring opening up was like a traumatic event. This is a little bit worse because it's basically.
I get now why they saved this for like they did 1 through 3, and they're like because 4 is going to boom, you know. So
it is a cataclysmic shift of both power and storylines, and it blew my reaction. Holy shit, blew my mind. Oh my God, they did it right. And
because you read the book for this chapter. I haven't yet, so I don't know what's coming or what's.
Oh,
so these are general surprises for you then.
Yeah, and even for what I've read in some fan forums and things like that, is like they've done the episode extremely well. They did it accurate to the book.
They literally what I envisioned reading the book was what they did in this episode, and I fell in love with The Expanse all over again.
That's great. That's great.
It literally it was that damn good.
Here's my initial reaction. Actually watching the show, I'm just going to try to recreate it the best I can. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Shit got real. Holy shit! Those were my initial reactions.
The only character I think we didn't see this episode was Drummer.
Yeah,
that's the only person we didn't see this episode.
It was a drummerless episode, unfortunately. Can't all be perfect.
Well, I mean, you got to see more of her than normal in the last one, so I think it's fair.
That was to make up for the lack of drummer we get in this one. You get all the drummer. Yeah.
You mean the one where she made out with another girl?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was. Yeah.
What we call progressive.
Yeah,
I like that. I like that. It's just progressive now.
Progressive.
Alex
We
would
can't-
say, "Need a couple minutes."
We can't say that was hot. It's progressive.
Yeah, Alex is going to come in here any minute now and say it's Andy Sedaris progressive. No. So, God, where do we start with this, man? Should we start with Amos? Is that kind of where we start off with?
That's a nice soft area to.
We'll start with it because this is it's a very explosive episode, ladies and gentlemen. So, Amos. Okay.
Thank you for pointing out that there was the churn. It makes so much more understanding for Amos now.
Oh, you're welcome.
And especially with their focus on him as a main storyline.
Mhm.
I think it really. Hi, Mom. It just really made that storyline a lot more clear.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. Once you. Because I've like the churn is really short, and I've read it like twice. It's kind of like because the first time I read it, I thought it was amazing, and I was like, I really wanted embed it to my brain to read it again, and you really get the behind. You get why Amos is Amos. That's.
I'm ready to stalk that down because I'm liking where this story's going with Amos. Like it's really interesting to me, and
really, I liked Amos before.
Well, this humanizes him more. You know what I mean? At least I think so.
Well, and it gives his backstory in a way that pulls no punches, and it is probably the best work I've read.
So basically, Amos has gone back to Baltimore, he's out of Baltimore now, and he's actually went to go see Julie Mao's sister.
Clarissa Mao.
Clarissa. He went to go see Clarissa Mao, which I knew that's who he was going to go see, but just even seeing it. Like made me excited. I'm like, oh shit, he's gonna go see Clarissa Mao. He won something from her. Okay, and we don't really get to see what it is that he wants from her because as he's visiting her, she's like, we didn't talk about Clarissa Mao in our review because we kind of had so much to discuss about the Expanse that we kind of decided to curb that little side story. At least in editing, we kind of started to talk about it. I decided to cut that in editing for time. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Clarissa Mao was in season
4, episode 1.
Season 4, episode 1, and she went to basically get even she wanted to kill James Holden for basically getting her father in trouble.
Okay, that's that's season 3, and then her last appearance before everything is season 1, episode
season 4. Season 4, episode 1. She's in prison. Like she ultimately was going to off herself, and she was given multiple chances to do that too, but she kind of she worked along. So they kind of showed this off camera, like they just explained it briefly that her and Amos have like a bit of a connection because they're both good mechanics, basically. So they kind of have a little bit of a bond, and I think Amos kind of feels sorry for her too, a little bit because they're both killers, and killers seem to understand each other. So at least that's what I'm getting off of it so far. But there's a little bit of a bond, and we saw Amos talking to her on camera, and then he went to go visit her, and in mid-visit, like the ceiling starts collapsing, like right in the middle of the jail cell, and it was kind of set up like one of those Hannibal Lecter type things. It's like, hey, leave all your sharps and everything out here. We usually don't get visitors down here in the dungeon, So she goes down. Go ahead.
God, I love that. That's his his call for to chrisjen is it's like, get me in this penitentiary in this pit dungeon kind of thing. Yeah. And let me go talk to Clarissa Mao. And
so he calls in his favor with chrisjen for that to go talk to Clarissa Mao. Yeah, that was wow, really? Because all the things because even the prison guards you must have some friends in high places, So yeah, a little bit. We kind of saved the world a couple times, but I like how these guys are just so blasé about it too. It's just what we do. It's like we don't go around and announce ourselves remember me? I'm the guy that saved the world a couple of times. They just don't.
But that goes to who Amos is as well.
Oh, absolutely.
He doesn't take credit. He just goes, I am the shit kicker that gets stuff done.
So
And
this
that is what I love about it, because he's like, "You want to fuck with me? Okay, you're gonna hurt.
right.
I may end up hurting."
This
But
ends
no-
on a perfect cut too. It's like she's like, "Are you here to like redeem me or give me a second chance or something?" And he's like, "I don't know." And all of a sudden the ceiling creeps in like right in mid conversation because I'm like,
Well, they go.
"What?" I'm thinking to myself, "What in the hell does he want her to do?" You know what I mean? Because obviously there's something going on here. But
They went on lockdown. He had enough time to ask what the hell that is.
Yeah.
And then she answers and goes, and then the all you see is what 3 foot of concrete crack.
right on the ceiling, just kind of
Like, what
So
the bloody hell is that?
So that's our first what the fuck moment. Our second what the fuck moment is, remember in the last episode we saw the meteor with stealth tech attached to it like crash into Earth?
Yeah.
And it wasn't the only one.
We found out where that crash was. It actually crashed into the Martian consulate on Earth. So it was a targeted, like a very specific targeted attack.
Well, I mean, you say specific targeted, and like I don't know. I do love this is the Belters like way of getting back at the inners or Earthers is throwing rocks at them, literal rocks at them covered in Martian and actually one of them at the beginning of the season we see breaks up and goes on the sun and that doesn't really do that much damage. So their aim isn't that good and is kind of off. So the fact that they hit the Martian consulate, I think, is actually luck. I don't know. Okay. I honestly, I mean,
it just seems so coincidentally. It's like of all the places you hit, the Martian consulate. Holy shit!
In the book, there was no aiming. They just tossed it at Earth and hoped that it would hit. And he took credit for because. In the book, he also takes credit for one of the other what the fuck moments when with the president or the general secretary of the UN.
Gotcha. Okay.
So he's not. It's not that good, but he got that damn lucky.
So the fact that he hit the Martian consulate was kind of like a twofer. Basically,
yeah.
It's like
well, a 3 for really, and everything that happened.
Because he's using their own stealth tech against them.
chrisjen is desperately trying to get the attention of the Secretary of Defense, who she lost out to in the election, and her way of getting through because she has no power now. Like she's literally got her hands tied, but she's the one that knows everything, so she's holding all the cards, and nobody will listen to her now.
Yeah. She knows everybody because she was born into that political game. She knows everybody from the janitors to the president. So she's
so her way of getting through to the secretary, because the secretary won't listen to anything she says, is to call her cook, who happens to be on Air Force One or whatever the hell it is that they're flying around on. And he's like, "Wait a minute, I'm your cook. I'm not supposed to be getting calls from you. Are you crazy?" And she's like, "Shut the fuck up and listen to me, all right?" It's like people are going to die right now.
She was in form this episode.
Oh my god!
She dropped more F-bombs.
I counted at least 3 F-bombs in the first 5 minutes of it. I'm like, that's our chrisjen. Oh, chrisjen,
Oh no, 100%. And once again, it's one of those things where I love that the characters evolved to just I remember in the first season or two she was Earth first, all the time. Now she's just humanity first, we need to not keep killing each other, and I think it's because of all the shit she's been through in the last 2 seasons.
The thing is too is Earth is such a small cog now in this expansive universe with all of these gateways opened up. It's like it's not just. I like how this universe has gone from being our solar system to just now being a small cog in this giant system that nobody knows anything about. You know what I mean? So it's like the stakes are higher for everybody. Mm-hmm. So we see her leaving a message. So the waiter takes the data pad over to like the little phone thing, leaves it on the tray and says, sits the tray in front of the secretary, And she's like, "Are you kidding me?" And she's like, "Will you just listen to me, please?" But she listens. She actually listens, and she responds. And she says, "You need to tell the watchtowers to turn on the defense system because there's a meteorite with stealth tech on it. Then we know who launched it. It was the belt that launched it, and I can prove it. You're going to have to trust me on this one." And she does turn the watchtowers on right before getting blown up.
And they actually get one of the rocks coming in.
They see the mushroom cloud going up, and that freaked me out. It was a real cool effect how they did it. Like, you see it through the port windows. Like, as they're turning around, you just kind of see the flash and everything, and they're just like literally right at the end of the phone call, it's like, oh, shit, and then you just see the plane kind of flown out, knocked out off its course. Like,
well, the only
dude.
I have with that is that it would basically be like a nuclear blast. And those aircraft, especially military aircraft, are hardened against those effects. And so that was one of my qualms with this episode.
But isn't this a little bit larger than a nuclear blast, though?
Well, and also from these meteor strikes, there's no fallout, there's no EMP, there's no nothing.
They are literally called a kinetic strike, and it is a scientific principle that basically it was just the overpressure from the impact coming in, but they were far enough both as a pilot and as a former military person, you see that, and an F-15 is supposed to survive a almost right next to them strike.
Yeah, so this is like a zillion years into the future too, though.
They have that technology now. Think about Air Force One and how it is it's technically a survivable platform for almost any form of strike. Right. Currently. That's why I have, because I know more than the average bear. I guess that's why
let me ask you this. So we didn't actually see them blow up, but we did see chrisjen lose their call. Did it make any reference that they did find that they did in fact explode, or could I don't want to hear any shit you read out of the book. I just want to know if it was said in the episode.
No.
Did they make it?
All we did is the lost connection, and
no.
And I know something in the book, and I'm not gonna.
Okay, yeah, I don't.
I really, you know what? As much as I love that actress, and she did a great job, and she wanted the election against Avasarala. I want Avasarala back. I want her back in UNN. I want her to be the head of the UNN again, and like commanding shit and getting shit done.
Okay, here. Buzz Nacho said in the chat. Welcome, Buzz Nacho. By the way, he says we saw. Hold on, let me highlight this. We saw the wing of their craft break off.
Okay. Yeah.
I have to go back and watch that. I don't remember seeing that. But okay, if you say it, I believe it.
I believe it. Yeah, that's why we do these live, so that if we screw up, you can kind of help us along. Because sometimes it's a lot to process.
So there's a good chance it didn't make it.
Yeah, it's a good chance it didn't make it.
Just from the angle of the aircraft at the time, unless it had some kind of repulsor, anti-grav technology, it was in a stall position, tipped up on its wing.
Gotcha.
So I mean, unless the pilot was going to do a miracle, it was going to be. They were going to meet the ocean in a very rapid manner.
Oh,
we had a really cool effect because they turned on the watchtower, and then they actually kind of went and watched the second wave of rocks come down, and the watchtower just kind of blew them up in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
So
we learned later when we're on Marcos Eros' ship later towards the end that 3 hit Earth and 3 they blew up.
Okay.
So they launched a total of 6 meteors at Earth. Good God!
Giant rocks. The rock hoppers are throwing rocks, Nick.
It's poetic in a weird way.
Kind of is,
and
yeah.
and like, and like, I mean, we knew what it was at the end of season 4. We knew what, kind of was happening because they alluded to that, and just seeing it happen now, and even if this is a show and everything, and being just being part of it, it's just like they did it. They killed millions of people with these kinetic weapons.
Buzz Nacho says 3 hit, 3 got shot down, and 3 missed outright.
Buzz Nacho, I apologize. It's taking me so long.
Okay.
It's taking me so long to highlight.
Yeah.
It's taken me a long time to highlight your comments because for some reason I'm getting the remarks quicker on YouTube. There we go. Now I can highlight it quicker than I am getting it on StreamYard. So yeah, 3 got hit, 3 blown up, 3 missed. So
wow, that's okay.
So
that's a lot.
they are starting some shit. And then let's see. The last piece I'm trying to remember is they showed Alex and Bobbie Draper in the
Razorback.
The Razorback, and they don't really do much in the scene, but they kind of had a moment that I appreciated. There was that touching moment where Alex is trying to figure out, trying to ask Frankie why she's so cold and disconnected about everything that's going on. It's like they're basically talking about, all this time we served Mars and we did all this kind of stuff, and for what? It's like everybody is abandoning the idea of terraforming Mars and turning it into a breathable atmosphere, and they feel like they've wasted their life. And she kind of goes into this really touching thing about, she says, I had a pet rat, and the rat died, and I buried. There's a rat. There's a rat. I know that.
No.
Yeah, a rat that was named Mouse. Okay?
Yeah, a rat that was named Mouse.
Yeah, I thought you were correcting me. I'm like, God damn it! I watched this last night. It was a rat.
That's all it was. Like she named her rat Mouse.
She named her rat Mouse, which seems weird.
It had soft brown ears.
Yeah, soft brown ears, and I mean that's like the Bobbie Draper thing to do, because like. She's not. She's military and is very good at what she does. She's extremely good at what she does. She's a Marine, but she's not very creative in like any other. To me, anyways, her character isn't very creative in any other sense of, that world. Is kind of like she just kind of operates on just like that whole.
She was born to either lead or follow, not create.
Exactly.
Yeah. But the point of the allegory was that she learned to move on. Because you had to, and that's kind of what she's trying to tell Alex. It's like, you need to move on,
It really highlighted the power that most military people have of compartmentalizing and closing things up in little boxes and being able to push those boxes aside. And that's why you can see a lot of PTSD elements in what she's saying.
Well, yeah, between the two of them, they've got 30 years of service. So, between the two, because he had 20 and she's done 10, because they said it right in that episode.
I thought she had done a little bit more, but yeah. But she's at
10, yeah. So
she's seen more, and so.
So they're both grizzled, at least, in long enough to be grizzled.
Well, Alex is losing his idealism for what Mars, and see okay, coming from me, you have that idealism as a, you expect certain things and you have these ideals when you go in. I don't know about you, Adam, because I know, you and I share this trait. I was an idealist when I went in. I had my ideals and I had them brutally broken and handed back.
A little bit.
And said, here's a reality. It's not nice.
Right.
So suck it up, Buttercup. Let's go.
Yeah, you learn to deal. But I just want to kind of sidebar a little bit. Sorry. Is it just me that wants to see Alex and Bobbie Draper get together? Am I weird by saying that? I want to see those two get together.
No, they're two Martians.
I see some chemistry kind of evolving, slowly evolving. I'm like, if those two get together, they're going to be the most dangerous fucking couple this side of science fiction. You know what I mean? So
well, I mean, I think I don't know. I think well, Alex, that's kind of seen in the beginning of the season. Alex wants to, have more. I think be more than friends with her because I mean, when he was approaching Mars, he could have called his wife or his former wife.
It seems fitting that he kind of takes after the military types, and I think it's because he's lived in that life for so long. He wants to have something in common with
It is also he is looking for an anchor again. He doesn't have the Rossi. He doesn't have he doesn't have Holden. He doesn't have his wife. He doesn't really have his son. He had the military, and now that even that is being slowly taken away from him because he's realizing that the Martian military is not what he thought it was. So, and that was the great juxtaposition between Bobbie and him was that he's on the same path she took, headed in the same direction. She's kind of his guiding light right now.
Yeah.
And so you saw how he latched on to that aide to the admiral, and then it's kind of like he's got that same kind of motif with Bobbie, and
he latched on to her even though he knew that relationship was bullshit. Like he knew it was bullshit, and he latched on anyway. And I'm thinking, I've kind of been there before too. It's like sometimes
you're literally there for the ride,
right? You don't use your brains in those situations. You just kind of I'm gonna go with it, whatever.
He was thinking with something a little bit lower.
Oh yeah.
He was open.
There's the two brain concept, which we're not going to get into, but so that happened, and then the big thing that happened, the big double cross, on Tycho Station. There's a big double cross.
That whole scene was another amazing thing of just how that all coalesced and stuff.
Nick, why don't you set this up for us? Because we haven't heard much from you yet. So I'm saving this one for you, buddy.
Let's see. Holden and oh god, what's his?
It's Holden, Fred Johnson. Fred Johnson's assistant, who we never remember his name. So Buzz Nacho, if you remember his name, go ahead and throw it out at us. Because
isn't it like Bronco or something like that?
Something like that. It's basically drummer's replacement, like drummer's. Yeah. Grizzled old salty ass replacement. So
Holden just does not get along with
Bull. His name is Bull. All right. Bull. Thanks, Buzz. Appreciate
Thank you, Buzz. You're awesome. We love you. Bull. Yeah, there's Bull, and the other the female is Saki, whatever. Sakai.
Did she have that tattoo on her face in the last episode, or is that new?
No.
That's what I thought. Because I thought that was a clue. I'm like, oh, she's probably been, taken into one of the gangs or something like that, and she's about to, because it seems like...
No, she always had that.
She always had the tattoo? Because I don't remember it in a previous episode. Maybe I just didn't
notice it. When she was working on the Rossi, she was sitting on the floor and working on one of those little pads that they have doing
the terminals. Yeah.
The repairs on the Rossi, and she had it. It's a mark of her faction, if I believe. Because
they're like I think 6 or 7 OPA factions. I forget. There's a bunch of them.
I need to study up on them. Yeah,
they're it's one of those things. I think. They're constantly changing, and they constantly go up and down in power.
One faction buys another faction, starts a new faction.
They're very much like Irish clans.
Okay.
If you've ever studied,
I get a lot of that Irish mob kind of, the way they're organized at least. Yeah.
The ancient history of the Irish clans, where they were constantly in a struggle. The Scottish clans as well. That one would be on the rise, another would be. And then they would constantly be dragging at each other, kind of like crabs in a bucket. They keep pulling each other down, and one will rise up. Another one will fall, but be able to pull that one back down. Crabs in a bucket is what I call it.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
so set up the double cross for us, Nick. What happens?
So we're at Tycho Station. They the container that Monica Stout was stuck in, the ship that's coming for that is still coming in. It's still still doing its thing. So they're waiting for that. They're seeing it come in. They're seeing it do all the procedure to be like hey, gonna stop.
They're setting up a trap for him. Yeah.
Setting up the trap. They're setting up a trap for them with Bull and Holden and Fred Johnson, everybody, and all of a sudden they open their doors and Holden has that sixth sense because he's been in this shit for too long now. He knows like when things feel weird, and I fucking love that about him because you can just see his face is constantly like he's like fucking move, it's a trap. But like he at least saves those people that were in that container.
It's not the Force; it's just universal karma at this point.
Yeah, he's just used to it because once again he's been in that shit so long, and I think the protomolecule being part of his brain also probably did something good for him, as well. Who knows? Because Miller tweaked around in there, and he says move, it's a trap, and they fired a missile at the containers, and they fired another like thing in Fred Johnson's office. Fred Johnson gets can I say it?
Go ahead, say it. The big spoiler, everybody. Hold on, let me put the big spoiler banner up so that we know. I mean, we've been spoiling already, but if you don't know, all right, go ahead, Nick.
Okay, Fred Johnson gets shot
in the back.
3 times, and like it was one of those things where it's like I've gotten to like him over the past I like the character in general. I like the character in general because he's trying to do the same thing that Avasarala is, just further out from Earth, and and people just giving him shit because he's trying to be a Belter, but he's an Earther, and
he kind of took a back seat to last season, so I thought maybe they were kind of bringing him back some more. I was not ready for that at all, man.
No, I wasn't. And then like the one of these rockets or whatever, these things like punches into his office where Monica is standing and watching all this shit go down, and it literally like carves a fucking a hole in it.
This is my so the girl that we were just talking about with the face on her tattoo shoots Fred Johnson in the back. Fred Johnson leans over to Holden and says, "It's in my office." And he's talking about the protomolecule.
Well, he tries to eject it first.
Well, he hits the eject button on his suit, and then he says, "It's in my office." That's like his last words, literally. All right,
yeah.
And run to the office, and this fucking crazy crab machine comes through the fucking...
Dude, that thing was insane.
Awesome! It was fucking sick, dude. I love that thing so much.
Because everybody's shooting at it and it won't go down.
They're looking at it like, what the fuck? So they've got like this salvage machine robot that walks around like a spider or a crab, comes in. This is one of those moments where I'm like, what the fuck? I literally said it out loud. I think I stood up in front of my TV and said, what the fuck? I love this scene so much, all right? This thing just moves. It's not attacking anybody. Its mission is strictly go get the protomolecule. It knows exactly where it is, all right? So it's like it's attracted to it or something. And everybody's trying to stop it. Like they're shooting at it. They're kicking it. They're hitting it with fucking girders and shit. Holden's the only one that's smart enough to shove a beam in it and try to break it up. And the thing turns around, grabs the fucking girder and smacks him out of the way. I love that scene so much, Nick. I do.
Yeah, it was good. And I mean, Holden does, and just like I thought one of the funniest parts of the robot was like it knocking on the floor and like trying to fucking lift it. I was like, the hell is it doing? And then I realized what was happening. I was like, oh, okay, this is where the protomolecule is.
It just like picks it up, walks out the fucking room with it.
Yeah, and like Holden's trying to shoot it, and he keeps like fucking shooting it, can't do anything. Puts the beam in it, fucking hits swats away like it's a fly. And Monica and Saki, I guess what her name is.
Just call her Saki. Why not?
Saki is, are fighting on the floor. Holden's trying to stop the robot. The robot gets inside the ship that bursts away into Fred's office. And Saki gets to the terminal, presses eject, and almost vacuums the whole room. Luckily, they're all, everybody was safe, including Saki, and she keeps saying, oh, you lose, you all lose.
Yeah,
and he just doesn't, and it's like
little girl voice that just was absolutely freaky.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I don't know if you guys caught that, but it was like it was that almost zealot the zealotry in her voice was just
Yeah.
like, oh my god, how did she hide
Well,
this?
actually, it was the reporter lady that saves the day by closing off the fucking airlock so that they don't.
Well, she pulls Holden from underneath before he gets chopped in half.
Yeah, I was honestly waiting for Saki to like I don't know bite into like a fucking futuristic cyanide pill or something. I was waiting for that to happen.
I was waiting for her to shoot herself or something.
Yeah, something.
and
Something. But it didn't happen. And I was just kind of like, you're in a world of hurt.
I was
right
waiting
now.
for the journalist lady to slap her, like just smack her in the face or something. That didn't happen either. I love how this show is unpredictable as shit.
The other thing I was waiting for was Holden just to shoot her out of hand.
Or that, but yeah, Holden actually looks at her and he says, "You're going to help us. You're going to help us get that shit back."
There's probably going to be some torture in the next episode for sure.
Something's going to happen.
That crazy little girl giggle, and it was just like, oh, and then they left it at that. It was like, oh shit.
It's just got that. Go ahead.
Are they going to space waterboard her? Is that legal? Can they do that? Do what, Professor?
I can either confirm or deny anything that happens.
Yeah, we don't want to know.
Okay,
we don't want to know.
Don't spoil
really, that storyline is very, very, very important to the rest of the season. And I do not want to ruin it for anybody.
So to summarize, everything that's happened so far is this is an episode where shit got real. Like, I mean, it really, like, it I see why they did the 1 through 3, because there was a lot of setup there. And then this one is where they really turn up the stakes by killing off a major character. Fred Johnson's dead. You know, he's gone.
Yeah, it's kind of
a bummer. Yeah, I kind of wanted to, because I was just starting to like him too, Nick. You know, because I kept saying, I'm like, I don't know, is he, ain't he? You know, is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? Does he have ambitions of his own? And I was just getting to the point where I was starting to like him. I think the show did that to me on purpose. It just,
and you were hoping that he had a redemption arc, and you kind of thought that he was on it, and then he didn't get that chance, and it's like.
Well, the only thing is at least he goes out of the world. I know that he was actually a good guy. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't have any ulterior motives unless they haven't revealed something yet. But he did sign over the proto-molecule. He told Holden, get to it quick. You know, like that was his last breath was, get it. It's in my office. Go. You know. So.
Yeah, exactly. And
Fred then figured out that he'd been double crossed, and that the belt didn't. The belt was going to do naughty things with the proto-molecule that shouldn't be done. They were going to use it as a weapon, not as a defense mechanism.
Yeah, because at the end of the episode, we have Marco Inaros doing a speech saying, we have it now, and if you mess with us, you're going to get it, and not in a good way. So. We need to gravity torture.
YouTube account just says we need to gravity torture Saki. So
I mean, we haven't seen gravity torture since the first episode of the first season. So
is Bull dead?
We might be due for it.
Is Bull dead? He's very close to the container explosion. That I do not know.
Well, okay. Here, that's
in the office, and that's who Holden told to get Johnson.
No, he's not. No. Bull's not in the office. Bull's in the container.
Bull's in a container waiting for the other ship to come in and pick up that girl.
Yeah. But after Bull was in, oh man, I thought Bull.
No. Yeah.
Wounded, but he was okay, and he was Holden was telling someone to get him to medical, and I thought it was Bull.
No. It wasn't Bull. It was just somebody who was standing there. So another employee of Tycho Station.
Yeah. See, Buzz Nacho. Thank you very much. We see Bull later grieving over Fred's body.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so then we know because and the reason I know that he was alive is because when they show that missile hit when they show that missile hit all the cargo stuff, you see 3 spacesuits kind of like fly off to like part of the thing. Like you see them not like, and to me that says that they made that image. They did that in the thing to make it seem like
they were flying. Yeah. Okay. So that they were actually true, and that tell you that they made it out. Okay.
Out of it before the missile came in.
Correct. Yeah, because Holden, with his 7th sense, said, "Get the hell out," and he knew.
All right, so the last big oh shit reveal is that Naomi's on the ship. Philip comes down, says, "Let's go." All right, takes her down to the main bridge there. All right, the ship, one of the ships that Marcos is on, and Marcos is basically giving her his, the world is changing and the belt is ours, and we're going to show him that we have power. He's monologuing. Okay, he's doing the villain, the classic villain monologue thing. I'll actually share a little bit of that right here. I think I can do this because this is part of the trailer. So here's Marcos. Make sure I share the audio so we can hear it. All right.
This is Marco Inaros. I am the commander of the Free Navy.
This is some Cobra Commander shit right
We
here.
are the military arm and voice of the outer planets, and we are the ones responsible for striking our oppressors on Earth and Mars. This attack was retribution for generations of atrocities committed by the Inners.
So you get the basic idea. Yeah, he's letting the world know that we're here and we are a power, and you better watch out because we're gonna break your shit if you cross us again.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah, because now that the port molecule, they can fling it at any planet they want to. So,
and the sad part is Naomi. Every attempt that Naomi has made to try to save her son has ended completely backwards. Like not one single thing has gone her way, because he believes in Marcos as well. Like he's like probably next in line to get moved up the ranks. So
yeah, and we know very little. We know very little in the show from what she said about him and everything, and the stuff that he said is. I think one of the biggest dialogue dumps is that she could do something to the ships to to make them inert, and then they could go and her and Marcos could go and get the ships to pay them to turn their stuff back on or something, and then Marcos took that code and made it to where it was pretty lethal and killed a lot of people, and she was just not about it.
That's
and
right.
And I think she left because of just who he was, and she left her son there because I think Marcos took her and her son because she didn't want to be part of that kind of life and that kind of thing, and so he just left with her son. And
she had the opportunity to get away, and from what I understand, it was basically she was given she left Philip with Marco, and she was in a different ship, and that ship had the opportunity. Both ships were running away, and she hooked left, they went right. He went out into the belt and got away. She kind of had to figure out a way to get away from both what was chasing them and him. And
Gotcha.
She didn't have the opportunity to grab Philip. She had the opportunity and she missed it. And it's one of the things she's regretted for the rest of her life.
So they bring her to the bridge to say, "Look at what we did." They show her the explosion, on the video. She's like, "You did this?" It's like, the fuck is wrong with you? And then welcome back, okay? And then they throw her back in the brig, and then we see her beating on the door. "Philip, wait!" And then we see everybody in the entire universe watching this speech live on whatever channel that they're watching.
I love that their symbol is the anarchy symbol.
Right? Yeah. Let's show that one more time. Actually, I want to show that. Then they got the flag flying in the background.
Yeah, they have the green screen flag behind them. I was like, okay.
They got a pretty cool green screen set up there. Yeah. So there it is, right there.
And subjected to the savagery and inhumanity that the Inners have been poisoning our species with. Any further attack?
Yeah, everybody's watching it. So.
Yeah,
it got real. Yeah, it got real.
It got real quick.
So let me ask you this, guys: Do you think that Marcos is a charismatic leader or a warlord on a Napoleon complex?
I think he's both.
Yeah, I think he's a charismatic Napoleon complex like type of guy, and that's what makes him dangerous. And that's why he has so many people in the Free Navy who are following him and doing what he's wanting, because he's promising this utopia that he'll never be able to deliver, but they want so badly that they're willing to listen. He's got the gift of gab. He's got them by the ear. He can talk to them and just give them all this
okay.
stuff.
To me, I see a lot of comparisons to Winston Churchill, because Winston Churchill had a long history before World War II. But most everybody remembers him for that World War II period, where he held the British Isles up on his shoulders and said, "We're not giving up because I'm not giving up." And I kind of see Marcos in that respect, where he has that gift for lifting people up with his words and pointing at the goal. Because he's had to build this organization out of numerous factions. So he's been drawing people in. So he's good at it, and he hasn't always won. And these people have stuck by him. So he's very nuanced. And there is, you can see many historical figures being kind of melted together. Napoleon is one, Winston Churchill's another, Douglas MacArthur, because Douglas MacArthur was very polarizing in his take on the world. And when you get kicked out of when you get kicked out as a 5-star general for insubordination to a president, that's kind of one of those things.
I think it's safe to say that this is probably the Pearl Harbor moment in this show so far. You know what I mean? Earth hasn't been attacked yet in this season, and now the closest thing they had was the scare when Inaros was heading towards them, and they stopped that. So now this time, we calculate at least we decided it was 9 attacks. Okay. 6 of them hit, and then 3 of them were destroyed in space. So this is
3, 3, and 3.
3, 3, and 3.
3 hit, 3 shot down, 3.
All right, so 6 out of 9. Okay, so that this is pretty serious shit. Everything is getting a lot more tense at this point. So I think what we're gonna do now is go around the room here and let's give it scores. If you guys new to the channel, I rate everything on a cheese curd scale, 1 out of 5. So I think we'll start off with Flare X. You go ahead and give us your review first, and then we'll do Nick.
I'm going to do the, what is it? That football movie. 10! 10!
Well, you can't do 10, Flare. The score is cheese curds, buddy. It's 1 through 5. You got to pick one of them.
Well, I think that tells you that it's going to be at minimum 5.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
If not double that or triple that, because I will swear to you that I started watching it this morning and I was like, whoa, wait. It's done? No. No. I got to wait a week?
Yeah, now we have to wait a week. Nick, what did you think of this one, buddy?
Oh, it's 5 out of 5. This was a wonderful episode. It was just like the culmination of everybody wherever they had to be. I think the only person not participating in this is Amos, but he's dealing with his own stuff, which is fine. I mean, we're getting his backstory, so that's perfectly fine. Everybody trying to get shit done and save lives and stuff like that is ridiculous. It was just thinking of the impacts and the millions of people that were dead and just like the whole thing with the Earth and the belters and everything. Like, it's insane what they did, and the fact that out of 9 they had 3 hits is just it's ridiculous. But dude, it was such a compelling episode. Then now Marcos Inaros has a literal target on his head from everybody who doesn't agree with him.
Everybody.
So Mars, Earth, and a couple of people as well. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting few episodes because I'm sure, like now that Holden has a new purpose and knows who's done this, he's really fucking pissed off and is going to be like, everybody get back on the fucking ship, we're going. Like,
right. That's that moment we're waiting for. We're waiting for the Rosinati to get back together, and we got to take care of some shit. It's going to happen at some point, and I think that I have a feeling that Julie Mao's sister Clarice Mao is going to join the crew at some point.
Ooh,
That's a possibility. It's a possibility. All right,
dude. I hope.
I'm going to say 5 out of 5 too. I like the fact that this show is bold enough to not be afraid to kill off main characters. You know what I mean? Like Fred Johnson was a pretty big integral character from season 1 to this point. I'm kind of disappointed that we're losing Fred Johnson because I was just starting to enjoy that character a lot more because I always had a problem like I love the actor, all right, I always have, but the character just always seemed like I'm like, is he a good guy or is he a bad guy or is he kind of like a bit of both? You know what I mean? And now we finally get the moment where it's like I'm just starting to like this guy and they killed him off. But when a show does that and they're bold enough to do it, it tells you that nobody's safe in this universe, and it kind of takes it up a notch for me. This show has really found its stride. You know what I mean? The characters, we're getting a lot more Amos now. I think he's kind of a fan favorite, and I think that's why we're starting to see a lot more from him other than just being the, kind of strange comic relief or muscle for hire type person. I mean, once he gets back on the ship, that's probably what it's going to go back to being. But, we kind of deserved to know what is Amos's deal. You know what I mean? Because everybody's always like, what is wrong with you? What's your deal? What happened to you? That kind of stuff. And now we're starting to get that,
Well, what I loved is he would turn to people and go, lots.
Yeah.
Lots happened to me.
Yeah, that was he's like lots. Yeah.
Shut up and leave me alone.
Lots of stuff, and still, this show has been so good about none of these characters ever want to say, yeah, well, we did save some people, but it's okay, it's fine, whatever, just fuck us around.
It struck me today because I watched the first time just straight through. And then I was catching little snippets because I was watching it during the day at work when I had a couple of free minutes. And it really struck me that we're looking at Holden as the Juggernaut. Because when he gets locked in on a mission, nothing can stop that man.
You kind of you admire that, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah, and you respect his passion, his idealism, and his, it's like Amos says, he wants to protect that because so few people have the balls to hold through with their passion.
He's had a lot of chances to get knocked off that moral compass that he's on, but he hangs on to it, and you admire that about him. You really do. His family kind of helps him hold it. Well, by family, I mean the rest of the Rosnade crew at this point. They kind of help him keep that together. I like that. I do.
I me being the classical. See, I read the classical Greek and myth, and it just I love that addition because I was also me and a friend at work are both huge fans. And we were discussing it, and he goes, you're the Greek. You like the Greek things, and I was like, Greek things, okay? That's new explanation.
Yeah, I like gyros. What of it?
Yeah, he likes Caesar salads. It's okay.
Yeah,
he and I had a really great conversation about the Juggernaut in history, and then how Marvel did it, and then how Holden is kind of the Juggernaut in this universe, and it's like I hadn't thought of that, and so it was such a great kind of thought process that when he laser focuses, you saw it with Prax in season 2, that and then when he made that logical leap, that turn from okay, I'm going to quit using Prax to I'm going to get the daughter. He was a Juggernaut to get the daughter. And nothing would stop him from that. And it was like, it's mind blowing. And yes, I love this show.
Yeah, man. It's and I'm glad for us it sucks to do one episode a week, because we can't wait. We want to see the whole thing. But I'm glad they're doing it because I think it adds to the. Once again, you have the internet. Everybody's going to flare up every week and be like, "Oh, the show's on." This and the other. They release an episode. Let's watch it, kind of thing, and we'll talk about it. Which I think is good for the show itself because they want to build that audience. They want to build people to come and watch it. They want to build the community, which is
very
really
smart.
They want
smart.
to be on the edge of your seat.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and I mean, we got to, and I mean, and I think the thing that's really kind of going to hold a lot of people back is the first two seasons because they're so dense. And I hate that because they're really good because of that. There's a lot of information they throw at you. Yes, it's really dense. Yes, it's really almost it's a lot to get through. But once you do, you're rewarded with so much character building, so much of the universe. So it's such a good show all around that it's hard. I mean, it's really hard to find even like. I don't think I've seen a bad episode. I mean, there's some boring ones.
We've gotten so conditioned to watching bad entertainment in the past couple of years with setup and no payoff. And this one, it's like, oh, you're really going to pay off what you set up? Wow, I love TV.
Yeah, everything pretty much gets a payoff. And like, I don't think there's ever a horrible episode where I'm just like, oh, this again, like, or there's even filler. It's all just stuff to perpetuate the story, and it's just like it's all really good.
I'm glad you brought that up though, because the nice thing, you're right. The nice thing about spacing these out from week to week is, for one, you got more time to enjoy the holidays. All right, two, you have something to get excited about, and it can become an online event like this. So many people, Nick, have been reviewing The Mandalorian that there's no reason for me to watch The Mandalorian Season 2. So many people have gummed that show to death. They've revealed every single spoiler there is. Just in the thumbnail alone, there's no reason for me to watch Season 2. And because everybody's been watching and reviewing The Mandalorian, so many people are sleeping on The Expanse. Not us. We're doing it. All right. Yeah.
It's also what I really enjoy about this is there's usually a payoff within the season. You know, there's plot progression within the season, but then as they expand into other seasons, there is continuing payoffs. See, there's repercussions.
Yeah.
For what happened in previous seasons. And how they tie all that to all these strings.
Right, like I felt stupid for not bringing up Clarissa Mao, because it's like now she's a major player again, or could be possibly a major player. It's like, I wish I would have discussed her last season, but there was so many things. See, that's the other thing I want to mention, Nick, is at least doing it by episode, we have a lot of things that we can cover. We don't have to focus so much on trying to condense the story enough for the audience to understand what we're trying to tell. You know what I mean? We can focus on the little things and have fun with them. So that's kind of a treat in of itself.
Definitely.
I prefer reviewing it by episode. This is way more fun, at least for me, just doing it by episode. But again, though, just one episode throws so much at you, it's almost like we're breaking down a season anyway. But the other thing that surprises me about this show is it's not one of those that does like other TV shows whose names I'm not going to mention hold all of the cards until the last episode. You know what I mean? Like, they're not afraid to throw it out there on an episode 4 and say, oh, by the way, boom, 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 shit got real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. There's still 6 more episodes for us to cover. So,
ooh.
You know?
Yeah. and you know, like, it's one of the things where, like, you know, I'm glad they're doing it. I hope it builds a fan base. I hope over the holidays people will watch it and catch it and, you know, really enjoy it and get to be part of it and come to the community and ask questions and, you know, just have a good time with it, because we badly need that. We badly need good, solid sci-fi that's a lot of fun. Personally, I love the science aspect of it, the fact that they're pretty accurate with the science that they've done to shoot the actual show. I do love that a lot. That's what really gets me. That really got me into it, because you know the way the ships move, the way they do battles, the way they do everything like that. I know there's another YouTuber really big who does a lot of space or science education stuff, Kyle Hill. He loves The Expanse as well, and he did a couple episodes about it when it first started and how they did, you know, the things and why they did certain things they did, and how it would make sense if that were ever to really happen. And it's like I just loved it. I just love it so much.
You'll never look at space battle the same way ever again. You know,
no, because anytime
this isn't pew pew lasers. This is shoot you in the head with a fucking, you know, handgun. Watch your brains float out behind you, and then you just kind of stand there like.
Exactly. Like it's
It's
crazy.
great.
And I mean, I'm glad. I mean, like I'll never be able to watch Star Trek or Star Wars again and just think like, it's okay. This is fine.
It's all right, but I want some more Expanse. Yeah.
Have a drink. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. But anyways, I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here. We'll be back next week. We're not doing any shows this week because it's Christmas, guys. Come on. Okay, really.
Yeah.
You know? And then next week is New Year's. So we'll be here next Wednesday night, and that's the only shows that I'm doing is the Wednesday night, the Expanse review. Nick, Flair, I want to thank you guys for taking time out of your busy holiday schedule to be here and talk about this wonderful show. I couldn't do it without you guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. I would like to thank in the chat Buzz Nacho, and I guess the other one is just YouTube account.
Yeah, thank you, YouTube account.
I'd like to thank those guys for showing up and you know, being part of the chat and helping us out when we needed it. You guys are awesome. Thank you for not berating us for.
We have a lot of lurkers, and I'm okay that we have a lot of lurkers. Thanks for checking us out. If you haven't, the other thing I wanted to mention too before I leave, we did hit 600 subscribers. So, round of applause. Okay, we hit 600. My goal by the end of the year was 500. I managed to hit 600. So I must be doing something right. Okay, so thank you so much for that. Even though you look at it right now, it might say 599. I still screenshotted it. We did get to 600. I got the congratulatory email.
It's like no. It says it like because I'm gonna have the live thing playing in the. On my other screen here because I want to see the chat, and it said 599 up there. But if I look at the actual page, it's 600. I'm just like, whatever. You got it. You screenshot it.
It'll balance itself out. People get impatient over the holidays because we're kind of taking a little bit of a break, but that's okay. They'll be back after the holidays. I'm not going to worry about it. Yeah. But we'll see you. Make sure you guys watch this wonderful show. Tell people about this show. Can't stress it enough. 6 seasons for a science fiction show is really good. Battlestar Galactica was only 4. It's only 4.
Oh well, OG Star Trek was 3.
Yeah, original Star Trek was 3 seasons. So this is one of those shows that, like you said, it's going to be relevant several years from now because I don't think they're going to be able to date it. You know what I mean? There's
and that's really good. They're not going to be able to date it, especially with any of the entertainment we've gotten in the last 4 or 5 years. If you know what I'm talking about. But the good thing is that it's kind of sad as well. Like once the show ends, I think it's going to have that Firefly effect where you're going to have these giant fans who discover it after the fact. Yep. And it's going to be 10 years later, and it's like, oh my God, the Expanse also. It's like, yes, we know about it because
we were trying to tell you when you were watching The Mandalorian and you were sleeping on the Expanse. That'll teach you. Oh, and one other thing I want to mention real quick, Nick, before we leave, is one of the cool things you were talking about science in the way that they do the effects and the attention to detail. Yeah. First time I've seen this season, it's like I've seen it twice now. When they're on Tycho Station and they're walking. Yeah, one person is walking on the ceiling and the other person is you don't even know if that's the ceiling or not. It's like one person's walking this way on the ceiling normally, and then another person is walking this way normally, and they just kind of pass each other and don't even look at each other. And I'm just
and that's also the power of being on Amazon Prime is you got that kind of money. You got that kind of money to do that kind of effect.
They put a lot of detail into the show. The way this episode here was like shot and cut and everything and just edited.
It was edited so cleanly,
right?
Into like there was no fat on it. There's no fat on the episode at all. It is really good.
No padding,
nothing, man. It's pure action all the way through. It's everything, all the information you need, everything you want. It's great. It was really good.
So for Raiders of the Lost Flicks, you guys have yourselves a happy holidays. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next Wednesday on Raiders of the Lost Flicks Live. And we are out of here. And also, make sure you guys have a happy Festivus, whatever it is that you celebrate, whatever it is that you believe in. Peace out. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you found it somewhat entertaining. Please remember to depress that like button and subscribe to my channel for more content. Make sure you hit that bell icon so you'll be the first to know when new content is published. Please visit raidersofthelostflicks.com for more hilarious entertainment and links to all of our social media platforms. Also, consider supporting us on Patreon. As little as $1 a month supports our worldwide digs for more Lost Flicks. Thank you, and have a groovy day.